We turn live to Ian Dembling.
Our Spectrum News reporter Ian Dembling.
Ian, what do we know?
There's plenty of things right now happening in the area, and there does look like there's a brawl happening right now, and somebody is getting taken out. Just about an hour ago, students got a message on their cell phone saying to shelter in place in concern about a possible gunman heading to William Peace University. But take a look at what this rain has brought at this point. This is a storm drain, and you can see the water continuing to gush. I actually don't think I've sled in about 7 years, so this is going to be really interesting. We're now up to 7 people arrested here in Chapel Hill following violent protests. Hasn't been violent up until this point, but right now we're dealing with quite a bit happening all at once here, right as we started talking to you. I am terrible at this.
Sledding down the hill. I think he wiped out a little bit, but he's looking pretty good there right now. Ian, good to see you.
You're throwing me under the bus, Tim, or throwing me under the sled, whatever transportation you want to say there. Right now, I'm still outside of Person High School, and since I am at a school, why don't I bring out something that I haven't used in a very long time, a ruler. We're going to measure how much snow is here. They found a man dead Tuesday evening. This is the caution tape that is still here at the scene, and I'm going to show you the home right now. It's right over here, and as you can see behind me, that window is busted open. We also heard that there may have been shots fired, but police still haven't given us that information at this time or why they were chasing after this GMC in the first place. If you're a parent of young kids, this could be your worst nightmare tomorrow night. Lottery craze is oh so real, and the only number you need to know to win is 1.6 billion. More than $24,000 from UNC basketball going to hurricane relief for people around our state who definitely need it. But law enforcement says it's difficult to investigate when it comes to Snapchat. Once that message is received, unless someone takes a screenshot, it will quickly disappear. Other people getting taken out in handcuffs and getting thrown to the ground. It's been on and off since around 11:30 this morning. There are some people who are still here protesting, and what started out as just those peaceful protests has now led to 7 arrests. Pushing and shoving, along with punching and breaking others' property, led to situations like this one, with protesters down on the ground in handcuffs.
It's surprising. I don't really know what to think of it, but I've never really been to a protest like this.
I don't want to live my life in fear. This is my campus. I'm paying a lot of money to come here, and, well, just Nazis, KKK aren't welcome here.
What started as a few who are pro-Confederate monuments standing next to where Silent Sam once stood with their flags in hand turned into a mob of people as anti-Confederacy protesters surrounded their flags, at times even blocking our cameras from trying to speak or look at those carrying them.
They find out where we live and they harass us once they have our faces, and I'm not letting that happen.
Protesters on both sides of the debate are now facing assault and damage to property charges.
We come peaceful, and that's where we want to stay, but you got a couple out here that don't want to be peaceful, so they're going to get what they're going to get.
What did taking that statue down change anything in this country? Nothing.
Nazis go home! Nazis go home!
After hours of confrontation, eventually many of those carrying Confederate flags went home, which leaves everyone wondering what may happen next. Raleigh police say just before 11 a.m. Friday, they got a call about a suspicious vehicle at the intersection of Garner Road and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. When they arrived, it turned into much more than that. Police body cam shows 44-year-old Frederick Hall attempting to flee from police's hold.
No. Don't bust up.
And then for the next 3.5 minutes, officers tried to place him under arrest. Hall begins by throwing punches, which knock some of the officers, including at least one female, to the ground. Police try hitting him with a baton, but Hall continues to swing violently at officers. It takes one officer using a taser and 5 officers using physical force to get Hall onto the ground in the middle of the road. But the brawl doesn't stop there.
Roll him over.
As officers tried to pull Hall's hands behind his back,
We got one cuff.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Hall tries one last effort to assault those arresting him.
Fighter.
That's when officers began kicking at his head and repeatedly smacking his back with a baton.
Let go. Stop, fighter. Stop. Get off. Stop, fighter.
After 48 seconds and at least 10 whips of the baton, police managed to pry the officer away from Hall's mouth. At this point, police still don't have Hall on his back and need to get both of his hands in order to arrest him. It took police stomping on his hands in order to get Hall to give them up. Hall, in handcuffs now, also needed medical treatment. Wake County EMS got him a stretcher and transported him to the hospital. On Sunday, police took him from the hospital to the detention center, and on Monday he appeared in court via video camera. The district attorney announced shortly after his appearance she would not be pursuing criminal charges against the officers involved. As for Hall, his next court date is set for September 10th, but before he can face a judge again, he must get a mental health evaluation. At the Wake County Courthouse, Ian Dembling, Spectrum News. In a heated basketball game, sometimes you forget about the cheerleaders and the mascot. But few will forget what happened during halftime at Durant Middle School on Monday.
Did I put the feet on at the wrong time?
Yes, I was just thinking that.
I did.
Tech Sergeant Anthony Pasco is stationed in San Antonio and hasn't seen his daughters Zoe and Anina in 6 months.
They have no idea that I'm here, so it's kind of like that Christmas morning open up presents moment.
And it's far from the first time he's been away.
I've missed a bunch of birthdays. I missed 3 Christmases, 3 Thanksgivings, and all that kind of stuff. And it comes with the territory of being in the military, but it's tough on every parent. Well, I want to make sure they don't know my walk.
His girls continued their routine right next to their mascot, Splash, having no clue what was about to happen.
I didn't know who it was. Like, we all knew that he looked a little bit taller and he looked like a grown man, but because usually Splash is just a little kid.
The cheerleaders were told at halftime they would perform their routine and then let Splash do a couple moves. And then the twins realized that their biggest cheerleader was finally home. In Raleigh, Ian Dembling, Spectrum News.